let's start off by saying, let's start off by saying, congratulations to AJ Brown for getting married. I heard, didn't see the whole ceremony, but it looked beautiful. Looked beautiful. Um, where there's a little light, there's some darkness, and um, one that had to be in this story was that Jalen Hurts wasn't there. We're gonna talk about why that might not be such a big deal. And people don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just a new story to make speculations on. Instead of just being like AJ Brown got married. So, you know, Jalen Hurts not being there, I'm clear it's probably a rational reason for why he wasn't there. Um, we're gonna give our thoughts on it in the video, but let's take it to Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion, um, um, Sean Mannion seemed to excite Jalen Hurts, where Kevin Petula did not. And I think Anthony DeBono has I don't want to say a theory. He's very close to the Eagles. Anthony DeBono uh, tends to break out some really nice stories. You know what I'm saying? He's very creditable. And he has the reason for why he has a reason for why Jalen Hurts is so much excited, like it's really excited to get into this Sean Mannion's offense. And he was not that excited to get into um, Kevin Petula's offense. We got that in the video. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch that video. And for week ones, we have a quarterback who's perfect in week ones. You know what I'm saying? And with all the stuff said about Jalen Hurts, not enough said about how he does the things he. And it seems as if a whole lot of um, you know, legendary players, particularly at the quarterback position, speaks up for Jalen Hurts. And then the guys who kind of want to see more from him, these guys didn't do so well in the league. And if you was gonna learn how to make $1 million, would you learn it from the guy at Quickie Mart, or would you learn it from a millionaire? That'd be something to think about. So, get into it. All right. Sean Mannion is giving Jalen Hurts very good reason to be excited. And Anthony Bono explains why. Run the video.
Look at the difference between listening to like a Kellen Moore and even Sean Mannion when he was at the East West Shrine Bowl. The way that they're just talking about why they approach things a certain way, because that was literally his first time being an OC was at that game, and kind of gave the Eagles a little bit of a peek behind the curtain into what his future could be. But he talked about like just like the reasoning behind everything and his experience as a player. And look at the last time Jalen Hurts had a former NFL quarterback as his OC. They won the Super Bowl, right? And you could see that we talked about when Kellen Moore was first hired. There were those clips from like those coaching clinics that Kellen Moore did where he talked about sequencing and all that. It was just phenomenal to hear him just talk football and the reason behind why he did everything. And you could see why a guy like Jalen Hurts, who, like you mentioned, is going to question things and be like, why do you want me to do this? Why is this going to work? And Kellen Moore was able to explain it. Kevin Petula clearly was.
That makes a load of sense. If you think about what Kevin Petula, and I think it was Kevin Petula, maybe it was Nick Sirianni as well, because Kevin Petula is his guy. Nick Sirianni and Kevin Petula felt like Jalen Hurts was uncoachable, and probably the reason for why is because he want to know why he's doing the things he's doing. If this is the case and you don't have any answer, yes, you're gonna be frustrated with why he want to know why. So it makes a lot of sense. And then you got Sean Mannion who can tell you exactly why he's doing the things he's doing. Oh well, we're gonna do this more. We want these guys to be spread out. We want them to think so. Like that makes a world of difference to somebody, a bright mind. That way he know which way to go if it don't work as planned. And I think that's a great fallback option because a lot of times, and a lot of people don't see this, a lot of people don't see this much. You just see the plays either work or they don't. But those quarterbacks that can make things work when they don't work, which Jalen Hurts has been doing for the last 2 seasons, um, is making certain plays where there is none. If you can do that in a really good offense, that offense just gets better. It just gets better. So I can see why he would want to know why, what they're trying to get accomplished. And he was even talking about that, I guess, in OTAs of last year when he was trying to understand what we were doing. And I think it wasn't Kevin Patula who answered his question. It was Nick Sirianni. He was like, "We're trying to attack this person," and Jalen Hurts was like, "Oh, okay, I like that, I like that." But he wanted to know, so that makes a load of sense. It makes a load of sense. While we on the Jalen Hurts topic, Jalen Hurts is perfect in week 1. Perfect. And the Philadelphia Eagles tend to do better than any other team as far as a week 1's record. So the Commanders, who all Smitty got to do is win the very first game before is he a Twitch streamer or a Kick streamer? I don't know. He's a streamer. His name is Rondo. He's a Commanders fan, but he hangs around a lot of Eagles. And Rondo got to go get a Smitty jersey. He don't care. He probably loved to get a Smitty jersey. He just needed a reason to get a Smitty jersey. And this would be the perfect reason when we beat the Commanders. I believe we beat them. Week 1, we're incredibly efficient in week 1. So that's really good news. Really good. Let's get on to the AJ Brown. Congratulations to AJ Brown once again for getting married. It looked beautiful. It looked beautiful. You had guys like Isaiah Rogers that was there. You had Darius Slay. I'm sorry, it was Big Play Slay. Big Play Slay was there. Jahad Doxson was there. I think that was all that was there. Jahad Doxson, Big Play Slay. These guys was there. It was no Jalen Hurts, and this story has started to ramp up. It has started to trend. Because Jalen Hurts is not at his high school friend, very close friends, wedding. And I think it raised a lot of noise about him not being at a rehearsal. Not a rehearsal, I'm sorry. The the proposal. He wasn't at the proposal. Because he went to like the Meta Gala with his wife. So yeah, I think it raised a lot of. I think it's gonna trend just like that. TMZ went on to like say that there was no current Eagles on the roster at this wedding. It wasn't just Jalen Hurts. There were no current Eagles on at this wedding. That means no Jordan Love, no Smitty. Smitty was there for the proposal. He wasn't there at the wedding. No Saquon. Coop didn't even go. Some of the guys that he was really, really close with on the Philadelphia Eagles didn't go. So, what do you say about that? Did he not invite everybody? You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be just a thing where it's just Jalen Hurts. He just didn't want Jalen Hurts there. Smitty didn't go. He's really close with Smith. Coop didn't go. He's super close with Coop. Quinyon Mitchell wasn't there. He's close with Quinn. He's really close to Quinyon Mitchell. When he left, he signed a jersey, gave it to Quinyon Mitchell. So, does he not like everybody, or is he just like, or is the Eagles? You can go a bunch of ways with it. Eagles told them, look, leave the AJ thing alone. You know what I'm saying? Let us handle this AJ thing. I don't want a lot of people there. And told AJ the same. Hey, look, leave the team alone. You know, it could have been one of those things. We don't really know. We don't really know. We're making speculations off of a guest list we can't even see. But I do know this: if you're a former Eagle and you were, were considered a friend of AJ, they were there. It just was no current Eagles there. So you take that how you want to take it. That's all I got, man. Like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications on so y'all can stop missing. And we out. Go Birds.